Hey curious people of YouTube, so today's video is going to be about why the pyramids were built. So not how the pyramids were built, but the reason why the pyramids were built. Now if we take Egypt for example, Egypt doesn't just have the Great Pyramids, it has, I believe, hundreds of pyramids. I believe every continent has pyramids except for Antarctica that we know of. We even have pyramids in the United States. We call them mounds. Obviously, we have pyramids in the Americas, in Mexico and South America. I believe the world's largest pyramid is in China. So this pyramid structure thing is worldwide. I'm gonna give some insight on why I believe they were built. Now, if we go back in time, if you can imagine going back in time, during a time when money was primarily just gold. It was a barter system and a gold system, right? Now, we don't really fully know when gold was the primary form of currency. Like, it goes back, and we don't really know if it started from the Sumerians or if it goes before that or what. But the reason why the pyramids were built, so you're a pharaoh, okay, and you have, let's say, a couple 100,000 people in your civilization, let's say 1 million people, whatever the number is, right? So our history books say that it was slaves that built the pyramids. While I don't doubt that some form of slavery existed and they were implemented in building the pyramids, they were primarily built by professional builders. These weren't just people that just started hacking away at stone hoping it was the right shape and size. It was very intricate. It was very specifically built with little margin for error. Because if you have like half an inch error at the base, by the time you get to the top, that whole thing is messed up, you know? So the level of precision they used was astonishing for the time. Now, you're the pharaoh. You have all these people under you. They need to eat. So what you need to do is you need to create an economy. You need to give people something to do. And the way you do that is through work. So you adopt this massive building project, which pretty much involves every single person in your civilization, from the top to the bottom. And the way it encompasses all these people is, so you have these specialists, right? These overseers, and then you have, let's say, managers that manage the people, and then you have the actual workers, and then you have people that need to feed and clothe the workers. You need people to go get the food. You need people to prepare the food. You need people to create, let's say, the tools to get the food, right? So by building this one structure and paying the workers, what happens is it trickles down and everybody has money. Every single person has a job to do. Next to every single pyramid was this giant area of where people lived, and they were, and we have graves and mummifications of people from that were really wealthy and poor, and they all lived around the pyramid. And that's the reason why they lived around the pyramid, because that's where their workforce was. That's where they had to go every single day to work. Now, you can't just pay people and then think everybody's gonna have money. It's not that simple. You also have to implement taxation, because the Pharaoh spends the money on all these people working, right? And then he has to tax that money back so that he can then repay them again. So long as they are continuously building, continuously getting paid, and continuously paying taxes, their economy is going to be guaranteed for as long as the pyramid is being built. And whether it's 20, 30 years like some people say, or whether it's a few hundred years like other people say, it doesn't matter. What matters is, for that long amount of time, that Pharaoh ensured that his civilization would be improving, and the quality of life would be much better than if people were just living under his rule, right? So the longer the project, the better. In modern times, we see these very same things around massive job sites. Let's say when we build skyscrapers and stuff, you have this entire workforce, and then they go to lunch break, and then there's a whole system of people that make money off of feeding them. There's a whole system of places that sell them tools, boots, helmets, right? There's an entire system around it. The only difference is from modern times to back then is the speed in which we travel and the speed in which we build, because we've just taken very primitive tools and we've upgraded them and upgraded them and upgraded them all the way until today, and we're still upgrading tools. So that's the reason why pyramids were really built. It had nothing to do with pharaohs being buried under them. It had nothing to do, although they could have done that. That could have been part of the plan. I mean, pyramids had like all big projects, it's not just one motive. There's multiple motives, but the primary motive is to have an economy, to create an economy. And if you look at old artwork of like when people chiseled like the gods and stuff onto stone, you'll notice there's a certain person in different places on the planet where this dude is carrying a purse. You can Google it, you can YouTube it. This dude has like a purse, and this person would go from one place to another, and the theory goes that purse was a representation of the information he carried with him, and that information was how societies are built. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. And because I don't like really going into like the tinfoil hat shit, you know? I like keeping things realistic, you know, where like things are provable. So this is my opinion. I came up with this opinion. It might not be the correct opinion. You might disagree. I mean, professionals might say otherwise, but it seems logical that this was the reason why hundreds of pyramids were built. Thousands, tens of thousands of pyramids worldwide. Yeah. I hope we find pyramids in Antarctica one day, which I no doubt believe they exist there. And the only reason I believe that they exist in Antarctica is because I believe that I believe in the expanding Earth theory combined with the hollow earth theory, and not the extreme hollow earth theory where, you know, the center of the earth has a sun and there's life down there and stuff. No, just the earth expands and it becomes hollow over time. Yeah, so very simple and to the point. That's why dinosaurs were massive back in the days, you know. It explains a lot of things. I have a video on that if you care to watch. But you guys have a nice day. That's why pyramids were built.